Okay, it seems like we're already live, and hello everyone. It's a SONM question and answer session with the SONM team. My name is Vitaly and I'm a content manager, and I will help to conduct this session. And here we have Eugen and Igor. Please introduce yourself, Igor.
Hello, my name is Igor Lebedev. I am CTO of SONM, and here is my colleague Eugen.
Hello, I'm Head of Research on the SONM team.
We've been collecting your questions through the weekend, and we've got about 60 questions from sli.do and about 10 questions from Twitter. And we will start from easy questions, and the first question is, when to the moon?
We should define what does the moon mean itself, because the moon generally means a high rise of price of the token in the cryptocurrencies chats.
And so, when is it?
Yeah, I think that the token will rise in price when people will expect that the product will be delivered soon and that everything is going well. So as far as the promise was to deliver in the summer of the next year, deliver the working product according to the roadmap. So if we plan to be going fine with the roadmap and with the plans, so I think that by the summer of next year the price should rise because we would be close to the working product.
So next summer, moon. All right. The next popular question is, when will you get listed on Bittrex? And it's about exchange.
Okay, it is important to understand that the people who are sitting here in the front of the camera, we are technical people, me and Eugen, so we can basically talk about technical questions, about the functionality of the system, but the talks with the Bittrex, they are performed by the other group of people. Such a group of people exists in our project, and they are doing some talks, some negotiations, and I cannot talk about the temporary results of such negotiations because of the NDA and other things. But such a talks, they exist. Sorry.
But the negotiation process is going, right?
Well, I cannot talk even about the fact of the negotiations going, because companies like Bittrex, they don't like when people are talking about negotiations with them.
So they decide when to list it, right?
Yeah, they decide based on some factors, and we are working on this. Perhaps we need to arrange some question and answer session with some people who are doing this. Not a technical questions and answers, but some relates to PR and maybe other aspects.
All right, so the next question sounds like it's from user Amin. However, how are you planning to face competition of Golem but also quant computing, IBM? And how are you going to create more liquidity and attract more investors? And the first part is more interesting. It's technical.
Yes, the first part is technical.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me answer.
All right. All right.
Okay. Golem implements grid computing, and at the moment Golem introduces just one small demo case that is rendering, and this task is rather simple. If we talk about some roadmap, this task is rather deterministic, and when we implement SONM at its best, and when we go to production, SONM will introduce also non-deterministic tasks. That is very wide range of tasks that computing can use.
Can I ask, perhaps you mean that the Golem, as we know it from their white paper and from their web page, they're using the grid computational framework, which is basically is not allowed to do any computational task because of the design of the system.
Yes.
They're designed for some bulk load and bulk computations, and as that said, the software has to be some special software has to be adopted for working with the system, and perhaps to be developed from scratch. So SONM is aiming to make some general computing system. This is a wider set of tasks and some lesser efforts to adopt your software. I would like to add this.
Thanks.
So the second part is about quantum computing.
Yeah.
Would you like to answer this?
Oh, okay.
Is it exists already?
They say it exists.
They say.
They say it exists.
All right.
So if we talk about quantum computing, okay, it's a new challenge to the computing infrastructure from all over the world. So when some detailed, concrete things will appear, I think we will adapt SONM. Why not?
Well, I think to answer these and such questions, we have to clearly distinguish what all of these computer types are doing. Because
you're going too deep.
No. We have to address this because quantum computing is something that many people are afraid of, and their afraidness is based on something. What will happen if the quantum computer will happen in place? Basically, it already exists, but the power of nowadays existing computers, they are low because they have some number of qubits, and as this process will go, some quantum computer will appear with the power to break cryptography, and when this will happen, many of the blockchains existing today, they will have difficulties because they can be broken. Basically, if you know the public address of some key, you can just find the private key part for it based on the quantum computing. This is the great risk of quantum computing. But if we talk about the payload that SONM is going to process, the general computations which we are going to implement, the quantum computing is something other, because when it will appear, the other types of computations, the traditional computations, they will exist on the market because quantum computing will be in small amount, they will solve their particular tasks. So general computations will be there. Okay.
You need to fix it.
How it works now? Better? Okay.
All right.
So we have to distinguish what will happen. Quantum computing will break blockchains that are not adopted and not ready for the quantum computing. And Golem is just doing another type of computations. We all are doing just different types of computing. Okay, this is it.
I've tried to start from easy questions, but I did a bad job, right? So the next question is from Mr. V. What?
There was already a part that relates to liquidity. The second part.
Yeah, the second one. You want to continue. Can you say something about it?
Well, the liquidity, I think the question asker is talking about the token liquidity. And, well, to address the liquidity problems, we'll have to add on some exchanges with a greater volume per day. So I think the liquidity is about that, I think.
All right. The next question is from Mr. V. When we can start mining? It's about mining.
As we already were talking, we have to say something about mining itself, because here in SONM, if we say clearly, we don't have mining, because in traditional cryptocurrency mining, during the mining, new tokens are emitted.
But some tokens are already all emitted.
Yeah, because the SONM token are already emitted. And no token will be generated.
So it's not mining.
It cannot be called mining because it will confuse people. So we can better use term worker, or perhaps even farmer would be great, but farming is again something different. I think the worker is a good word to go. So
okay, who cares? When?
When can we start working with?
Yeah.
Again, this will depend on the deadlines when we will launch on the main net of Ethereum. So currently, as we will talk later today, we estimate to launch on Ethereum test network this winter, and we estimate to launch on Ethereum LiveNet in the next summer, in the summer of the next year.
So it's like the same when the moon. right?
No, it's not really the same because you can start working with SON just to earn tokens by renting your hardware this winter, but the tokens would be toy tokens. They would not be real because it would be on the test Ethereum network.
Yeah, all right, I got
But
it.
if you want to earn real money, it will happen in the summer of the next year.
But if they will participate in this process, testing process,
Yeah, they will
if
have
that-
some benefits.
It could help us.
It would, yes, the people who will take part in our winter testings, of course, they would help us, and we will benefit from it. And we are thinking about some benefit program for people who would take part in the public testing this winter. So I think those people would need some benefits when we launch on mainnet.
So, to the community, please join our testnet this winter.
Yes,
Yeah, and help us to improve the product.
when we are ready.
Yeah. Okay, the next question is, it's easy, from Marco. What's the thing you're most proud of right now about SONM? Like, what you're proud of?
Actually, we are proud of some marketing campaign.
It's good.
That started with some. Actually, we are on the way to our product. So I think that if you come with this question half a year later or a year later, we'll tell you
I can
many
say
things.
That what I'm proud of is community support. Like we have huge community, and that's the thing that we should proud.
Yeah, our community support is encouraging because we have some couple of thousands of people in our public chats, and I try my best from time to time to join the talks on this chat. Perhaps you already see my post there. So yes, the community support is encouraging. But as for me, I am proud of being the part of this team, and this is a great chance for a career opportunity and just to build such a system that nobody has yet built. Because we have, as we mentioned earlier while we were preparing to the talks, we have two things that are not yet built anywhere. One of them is a decentralized approach for such a computational tasks. But in some degree they exist. And another of them is what we said, cryptocurrency, because it's yet just a testing technology. So these are great challenges.
But the project could change the world, right?
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, it can, and it will.
It will.
It will. We have market question is about Chinese. When the Chinese version of the website will be, and when the Chinese
Korean, and Asian, and other.
We'll translate our site to these languages.
Yeah, one. Is it?
I don't think this is a secret, but perhaps it was not mentioned. We are developing a new web page for SONM, and the work is under progress. And I cannot tell you how many languages will be there because English is our first language to implement. But I think there will be some support for other languages, but I cannot tell which one would be exactly. We have to clarify this later because some other team of people are doing this. We are from the technical part.
All right. And as you from a technical part, maybe you can handle this question, and it's about what are the closest dates of new releases? For example, Arch 0.3. What you can say about it?
So we finally came to our main question, perhaps the most difficult question of today's talks.
Yeah, we've been preparing for that.
Yeah, sure. We are thinking about this every day. What can we say here? If we look at the white paper if we look at the roadmap in the initial white paper, we will see that the Arc release, which is the 0.3 version, is mentioning some technical updates to the system, namely.
Here is it.
There are many points here. The application, the browser, some other things, but this version does not give you an answer on when will this product be launched on the live network or on test network, and this description of the version does not give you the answer on what use cases will be implemented for customers, for people who want to rent their hardware or to run applications. So you can read the description and have difficulties answering these questions, and we had to face this because when we started the enterprise development process for SONM, we had to discover the use cases. Not to discover, perhaps not a good word, we have to define the use cases.
But at first we have to notice that you started an enterprise
yeah, of course.
development.
We both, me and Eugene, as was mentioned in the news articles, we are from enterprise development, and first thing we started working on is the use cases. And we defined the first use case that would be implemented as a working marketplace where people can buy and sell their resources. And this is something not mentioned in the ARC description. And we honestly believe that delivering some working marketplace is very important. Even if we do this on the test network, even if we do this without yet working rating system, this would be very important because we need to collect the response from community, we need to do some security checks, and we are currently focused on making working marketplace. This is the most important thing to say currently. And we estimate this working marketplace to be delivered in winter. So we would like to update the 0.3 version ARC as a release that will deliver the working marketplace.
No,
so
it's not update, it's replacement.
Yeah, I think it's update because
in terms of roadmap, it's like sounds more like replacement.
Well, it's a manner of words. I would like to say that the meaningful release that will contain some essential functionality, something that can be evaluated by people, would be delivered in this winter. Cannot yet tell you the exact month because we are currently yet estimating the exact deadlines. But it would be this winter. It could be January, perhaps February, or it could be December. We would calculate this later. And when we know the exact date, we will publish it. So 0.3 version will be delivered as a winter release containing the working marketplace. This is very important because apart from that, it will also contain the first our graphical user interface application. So as we already mentioned, we hired a new team of people who are building the graphical user interface, the wallet itself. So this wallet will allow for token transfer, perhaps we would be...
And this process divided between two teams?
Yes, we have divided the team that is doing the marketplace generally and the tasks allocation and the general product and the graphical user interface because they are dividable, because the GUI, the wallet, it uses the API of the marketplace and it can be divided. So we have currently two development lines, I would say. One of them, the main line, which contains the marketplace as a working product, and another of them is a graphical user interface that will connect to the already working API. So
and now we have to announce that later this week
yes,
we will publish the new updated roadmap. We're already working on it.
Yeah, basically we can announce that we will publish updated roadmap this week. This is the first point. The second point is the text and the roadmap itself is already written because we have already estimated it, and this work is currently under the internal process of acceptance. We have to accept it with all the founders, we have to accept it with the PR team and other people so that each word would be evaluated. So we will deliver this week the updated roadmap information.
We have a live chat here in YouTube.
Let's see.
So we can see the questions.
Oh, there was a question about the Intel team.
In Barcelona.
Partnership? Insights?
No. We had a talk in Barcelona with Intel.
Question from Rudy Kadosh. I don't know how to spell it.
Yeah. I can answer the question about the Intel. I think it's interesting. Well, we invited some representatives from Intel to our stand. We did not have the agreement for the cameras and for the microphones because they have a strong policies about this, and that would take the acceptance time and all that. So we had informal talks with them. The question was about
the weather.
no, not about the weather. The question was about mainly about the blockchain technologies they are developing and the processors that support this, the proof of the elapsed time and this sawtooth and the hyperledger. The question was about how can we benefit, but the team that we had to talk with, they didn't represent the hyperledger itself. They're from the IoT and from other departments. So we agreed to pass our contacts to a team that is developing the hyperledger. So that was the result.
The question from YouTube: where is Sergey Ponomarov? Is he alive?
Of course, he's doing a lot of work. He is sometimes out of office, sometimes in the office. He is the CEO of the company. He is developing business. He's looking for people, looking for companies. As you remember, the Selectel company, this was the result of his work, the agreement that we finally made with them. So he's busy with some work. He has a lot of things to do.
I've seen him last Friday, so he's alive.
Yeah, sure, he is alive.
Yeah. So, do you have in mind to burn tokens? The same Rudy Kadosh? I don't know.
No, I don't think we have the mind to burn our
we
tokens.
don't have it in mind, and you shouldn't.
Yes.
All right. This bit crappy, you know, to read it right now.
Oh, look, there's a question about the Ethereum.
All the platforms.
So ETH will be the platform of SNM, or you are considering to move to another platform? Takuya Sakaguchi.
This is a good question about the Ethereum. Would the Ethereum be our platform? Currently, the Ethereum is our platform of choice, and there are some reasons for this, because we have some logic to be placed in the smart contracts. And yes, there are some difficulties with Ethereum, namely the gas price and the speed of the transactions and the amount of transactions, and we are indeed evaluating some other options, but currently Ethereum is our favorite. So, but we are closely looking at the alternatives, and we are indeed waiting for the Ethereum to handle his bottlenecks. I'm personally expecting the proof of stake, I'm expecting the plasma technology, I'm expecting side chains working. I know that there are currently some development in progress, but we are expecting something working for our project. I think we have some more time for this. As far as we are trying to launch our software next summer, we have some time indeed for them to solve their bottlenecks. If Ethereum will solve their bottlenecks, we will stay with it.
I would add some words to Igor.
Glad to hear you. I forgot you here.
No, I'm with you. So, actually, we built our software so that each component can be just plugged away and changed for another component that implements the same things better or the same way with the same quality. So if you find some technology like blockchain or other decentralized consensus technology that will fit to our architecture, that will fit our requirements, we will consider using it, and we are open.
The next question is about the date when the new wallet will be released.
Thank you, you did my job.
Oh, sorry, I ate your bread.
So I should do your job or not?
Now you can answer this question.
No, I can say that wallet will be released next winter.
Not
Nah?
this winter.
This winter, yeah.
This winter.
But it's coming. It's next.
Yeah, well, basically, if someone wants an insight, the team was hired just a month ago, and we indeed already have a working prototype for token transfers, and we are working on the user experience and the use cases that we will be working with the wallet. And so the realistic estimations is to release it maybe in December, maybe in November, but I'm not sure on that. So this winter we will release our first wallet version.
This week we will publish new roadmap and you will learn everything about releases.
Yeah, you will learn that we will publish the wallet this winter from that roadmap.
Yeah. Okay. The next question is from Anonymous. Can you show us some team members? It would be nice to see behind the scene a video of some sort. We are already making videos with our team members. We just published a video with Oksana, the main designer of SONM network, and we will show you more. And now you can see our team right there. So they are busy working.
Yeah, basically the background of our video has
Yeah.
some people already working. We have Anastasia, the system analyst, working on the requirements. We have some programmers doing their work on the smart contracts. Here you can perhaps see Pavel, you can see Artyom, you can see Alexander there, some other people. So everybody is working.
Yeah, but
Perhaps,
they busy and maybe they don't speak.
Yeah, perhaps from
proper
time to time.
English.
Yeah, from time to time we will have some personal introductions of people, but this closely relates to the English level, and not all people are comfortable with public speaking, so we have to.
Yeah, they are programmers, so they are not good at talking at all.
No, some of them are talking well, but sometimes we have to force people to go for the camera and talk about themselves. Not everybody likes that. Sometimes some people just like working.
That's good. That's good about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should work better.
And I like working also. Yeah. And let me do my job. And I will read the next question, and it's about 0.3 version.
Already.
I think we have addressed this.
Miss it. When can we expect the next video on YouTube channel? Today. Do you have any plans to engage some community in any decision making, or maybe even just some social events?
Yes, I can handle this question. We have such
Go for
plans. We cannot yet tell the whole plan, but something I can tell is that we will be holding a vote for the token holders. And this vote will influence some aspects of the future development and some other aspects. But the full information will be disclosed later when the PR team will be ready to publish this. So everybody that is holding the token will have the vote for some future of the SONM development.
And how
Stay
it
tuned.
could be possible? How you will conduct this vote?
The technology exists in place. There are many ways, and some of them are bad ways and some of them are good ways. The good way is to implement the simple DAO technology, the DAO. So we can just deploy the decentralized application and we can implement the voting there. And to have a voting power, you would have to transfer tokens to the DAO itself. And this would be supported by our wallet as an interface for this voting. So you have a crypto wallet, you have some tokens there, and you just go to some tab with the voting and you use the tokens as your voting power.
So right, so we handled lots of questions about DAO. I have a whole list about, and it sounds like when DAO, why you don't do DAO?
Yeah, well, we are working on DAO.
All right.
Sergey is working on DAO.
Sergey too is working. We have a team of people who are working on smart contracts. There are some tasks for them. Some people are working on the rating system, some people are working on the deals mechanic and the marketplace, and some people are working on the voting and the DAO itself. So we can name 3 of such a development branches for the smart contracts.
All right, so the next question is about, can you talk about hardware and stuff? Will there be a pre-installed miner, aka nice hash miner, which can use idle hubs and hardware? Can you handle
What do you
it?
think
Okay,
about this?
I'll try handle
All right.
this. So this is basically a question, if we talk about SONM, not just pre-installing. We are going to implement a marketplace metaphor. So every resources is to be published to the marketplace, and every customer who wants to rent these resources is to go to the marketplace and buy these resources. So it's obvious that mining is a very good application for any decentralized system like SONM, and we expect that marketplace will full of requests to buy resources from the community, some miners, just to run miners, just to start mining nice hash or Ethereum or maybe even Bitcoin. So we consider this use case as not as the main use case of SONM, but it's going to be implemented. We realize that, and it's okay that it will be implemented.
Guys, I'm changing the lists of questions. Sometimes I'm choosing questions from Slido. Sometimes I'm looking for questions in YouTube. And later I will check all the Twitter questions. And now the turn of Slido questions. And the next question is about, do you have plans for token buybacks when you have companies asking for computational power? Who can handle it?
I don't think we have the plans for buybacks, and we would like this to happen on the market base. If some company would like to buy some computational powers, I think that company should go for exchange and buy the tokens from the people who have initially invested on the ICO. That would be fair, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we have written in white paper.
Yes, that was the original idea of how this should work. Like.
All right. The next question from Slido. Okay, I'm trying to choose. When do you expect to open SONM office in the UK? Do you plan to find some partnership companies in the UK? Would you like to move from Moscow to UK? What do you say?
Yeah, personally, of course, that would be a great experience to travel to another country. But from the point of view of our tasks of development, most of our development, not most, all of our development currently takes place in Moscow. So I think we should answer this question by some other people.
So,
but our team is not only a technical team.
Yes,
we also have partners.
It's complicated question.
The
it's
question
about the future of.
When we will have development branch in London, that has to be yet estimated, because we would need to find some essential people there. The cost would be higher there. If you find some specialists there and their level would be great, we can open a development branch there. But we will do this if we find some great people there on place. Just opening the development branch there without some great people, I don't know.
And the next question from the same person, Roman French. How many people, devs of SONM, are you going to send in the new office in the UK? And it's all about...
We don't have the purpose of sending developer people to London to increase the living costs and that kind of things, because we can effectively work in Moscow if the people are from Moscow initially. But as I mentioned, if you find great people in London or in UK or in other places of the world...
Why did you hire cheap programmers from India, for example?
They don't know anything about Yandex cocaine.
Yeah,
it's not the matter. I think we can evaluate all the options, but currently the fact is that the most development team is here, so we are working this way.
Another question from the same person, Roman French. He's an active community member. How the SelectCell partnership will use the SONM token? What will be the product? A decentralized cloud platform for Selectel client based on the SONM technology.
Okay, I'll
Can you-
handle the
All
question.
right, thank you so much.
So Selectel is a major Russian cloud provider, and it's going to use SONM infrastructure as a backend for its services, for its public services. Mainly, it's going to use SONM for two tasks. The first of all, it's object storage for backups, and another task is a network file system, network attached system for extra file shares for hosting and other tasks. Eventually, Selectel can use SONM GPU resources to run some computer tasks, and maybe Selectel will publish its resources, free resources to SONM, so that other community can use them, and they will get some money for their PCs that are not working for clients now. So these are basic use cases for SONM. Actually, the main idea for Selectel is that they continue selling their services, and they hide SONM specific technology from their customers. They use SONM just to get extra resources for a bunch of tasks.
Thank you. He's watching at my display because here is YouTube and he sees himself.
I don't have mirror, so I use it as a mirror.
That's why he's looking. He's not reading, be sure. So I'm getting back to YouTube questions, and it's the simple one. Where I can get a SONM t-shirt or shirt. You can get it by visiting our conferences. And the next question, about conferences.
Paul.
I think when we were training before this Q&A session, during our testing of the microphones, you have a good answer that our company is not about getting t-shirts.
Yeah, we're not selling t-shirts and other clothes, not selling bicycles and other stuff. We're trying to make a platform to make a supercomputer, not t-shirts.
I think that getting a SONM t-shirt is a matter of luck. Because for me personally, I was lucky to get this sweatshirt because I was on the conference in Barcelona, so I had my t-shirt.
That's why.
That's the only reason.
So I'm not a part of him, you understand? I don't even got a t-shirt.
Right. And the next question from Slido, on what conferences will you participate in the nearest future? And have you idea?
Oh.
And I have a list. So in October 23, we will have Ilya Frankenstein in New York. Frankenstein.
Not Frankenstein. It's important.
I'm sorry, Ilya. In New York, and in November 15, conference in Moscow. November 22nd, conference in United Arab Emirates in Dubai. November 28th, conference in London, and November 29th, Santa Clara, California.
I think
and it's the whole list of conferences.
I think I will attend the conference in London.
To find some development people.
Yeah, you should try. If you want to get t-shirt, you should try conference in London.
Yes, I want a new t-shirt, so I will have to attend some conference.
Okay, the next question. I found the tab. All right.
So we are answering the question, but the amount is not decreasing.
Yeah, it's not. They're always
we should
appearing.
We should just resolve the questions.
Yeah. how confident are you that SONM will accomplish its purpose, and why?
There are some confidence.
Tough question.
Yeah, it's tough, but you know, each complex task to be solved, it has to be divided into some simpler steps. So this is what we are doing for the last couple of months. We are trying to decouple this big task into smaller sets of steps. So what makes us confident that the project will succeed? We see the development and the vision of the project, how will it will be going. First stage we will implement the infrastructure as a service. Then on top of that we will implement the platform as a service that would allow people to run their applications without manually managing the scaling and the scheduling manually. And on each step we have some ideas on how to make this working. For example, we have some ideas on how to make them market making. When we initially launched the system, there are indeed some ideas, and we have some ideas what to offer to each category of clients. So, and we have some ideas on how we will solve some issues. So that makes us confident. The confidence is based on our understanding on how we will address different issues. This is it, I think.
And I would like to add that we studied the market for computing power market. So we realized that SONM can fit easily some niche, and we can give a product that will make things cheaper and faster than some existing products. So that's the reason for our confidence. We see a business here.
I'm getting back to YouTube questions, and I'm reading all of that. I'm trying.
Can I ask you, what is your criteria of choosing the questions? Is it a matter of personal like or dislike, or it's based on the name of the question?
I'm reading the name. I'm looking at the picture.
Basically, it's based on picture, correct?
Yeah, and I'm trying to choose
use
short.
best pictures. use pictures.
Yeah, pictures.
So yes, if you want
to. We have. I mean, Red Hound that don't like questions about T-shirts, and she wants to find out about how are you going to face the competition with Golem, and we already answered this.
Yeah, we answered about the quantum computing, and we answered about Golem, and I have seen some questions
and the
about...
answer that we will try our best.
Oh, look, some people asking to start speaking Russian. Можем поговорить и по-русски, то есть, но просто большинство аудитории на английском, поэтому мы стараемся отвечать на международном языке, и команда международная, некоторые люди, которые смотрят нас из нашей собственной команды, они хотят получить ответы на английском. Вот, но, возможно, мы могли бы провести отдельную сессию на русском или перевести.
Да, мы могли бы, в принципе.
Было бы это корректно, конечно, вопрос.
So, sorry for the Russian speaking, but we have to explain something to our Russian community.
Basically, the team is international itself, so we have to use the language of international talks.
Yes.
And more to say, we are currently, the documents that we are developing, the requirements, the specifications, the architecture, they're all in English.
Igor, you talked about Golem, but what are your main advantages compared to Elastic and iExec?
Oh yes, we can answer this. First is about the iExec. Currently, if we try to evaluate what the supercomputing projects...
Stop. And you are late with Arch. When will it be delivered?
It's the next question. It's another question.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Sorry.
From the about the Arc, we mentioned it will be delivered in winter with a working use case of the marketplace, which is essential because the initial Arc was not contained in a working project as we tried to estimate it. So now back to the supercomputers. If you look at the cryptocurrency top project, you will notice that there are mainly, I would say, 4 cryptocurrencies-based supercomputers or blockchain-based supercomputers: the Golem, the SONM, the iExec, and the Elastic, and we can basically also name a grid coin to mention this. So all of these projects, they are developing a different approach to computations. As we mentioned, Golem is building a grid framework, which is some different type of building a supercomputer. It's based on developing applications for grid. The iExec, as I understood from their white paper and from my personal research, they are going to extend in smart contracts, which is itself a good idea and of course an essential idea, because current smart contracts based on the Ethereum, they are not scalable because they are processed in a single thread all over the world. And what they are trying to make is to offload some smart contracts into sidechain, and this is what the supercomputer would be occupied with. It will be solving smart contract based tasks. So this is just another approach, and if we try to compare this with Golem or SONM, you will have to rewrite your application to be working on smart contracts if you want to use iExec, as I understand it. And talking about the Elastic, they, as I understood from their web page, they're using their own language of software. This is the first point. The second point is, as I understood, the activity on GitHub was not really big at this moment. There are points of text that say that white paper would be updated, and these texts have 2 years of 2 years old, yes. So all of these projects have a different approach to computations. And if you also name a Gridcoin, if you answer in complex, Gridcoin is another grid project as it's based on its name. So I think the real competitors in grid technologies are the Golem and the Gridcoin. And there are, just to mention, there are some articles on the internet comparing Golem and Gridcoin. And this is not something we are doing. We are doing the general computations based on the virtual machines and the Docker containers. This is our approach. And okay, this is it, I think, enough for this question.
We have a comment from Blue TV, and he's wondering, is the man, this man is genius?
No.
What do you think? I think he's the genius mind behind all these projects.
Okay, thanks very much.
Is this your fault?
No, I'm just Eugene, not genius.
Eugene.
all our team is genius, I
you.
suppose. Thanks very much.
Eugene, perhaps if you want to address this question, you can just tell it from your heart. Or what are your tasks and what are you
Yeah,
doing?
well, what are you doing actually
Okay.
in this company?
Because I can answer this for you, but I don't want to.
You'll check what I'm doing.
I will check, yes.
Okay. Igor is my boss, so. Okay, I'm responsible for research of community and open source components. So there are, as you know, the open source community is very large, and there are plenty of projects that are about computations and Docker containers and about distributed applications. So we would like not to invent the wheel. So my primary task is to research these components and to suggest.
But this wheel is not existing. It's not a wheel.
Okay, we are implementing some machine, but it uses wheels, and we shouldn't
gears.
Yes, gears. Yes, we shouldn't invent wheels here. We should use the stable and existing components that are in productive state. So our software is stable and will come to production in nearest future, in next summer, as you heard, as Igor said. So another task is my task is to lead the team of analysts, so that the requirements for the system are specified and they match these technology options that we use. So I'm not genius.
Well, he's a good guy, and he's
I'm
smart.
just working as a part of the team.
Yeah, if you want to know that there are some people that are talking about the product as we are saying here. Wait a second.
Just throw it away.
Check the telephone.
I don't know, somebody's phone. All right. Sorry. Any thoughts about RNDR network? Noted that 7 rig. It's about GPU. Can anybody understand the question
Yes,
from
yes,
Tony
of course.
Morella?
Yes, there is a company which is building the Octane renderer, and they decided to make an ICO, and they called the RNDR, and they're trying to make the rendering process as part of a decentralized system, something similar to a decentralized supercomputer, and they already have a working rendering software, as I heard from them. And I'm not personally the man who is doing rendering or for graphics, but they have a working solution, as I've heard. So I cannot estimate the numbers they provided, the economic numbers, cannot say about that.
Yeah.
$400 per day is a great number. Did they say for a day?
No, I've lost it. All right, found it. A day, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that is possible, but I am not the expert in that particular question.
It's complicated to answer
Yeah.
YouTube questions because I don't know.
I think if you try to go it from up to down, perhaps it would be.
Arch hasn't done yet. So it seems like
Just
people.
we have addresses. Let's watch this question. How many full-time people are working at SONM at the moment, and how the break?
That's a good question. And how does the breakdown between the technical guys and business guys look like?
This is a good question.
Yeah.
Currently, we have 12 developers working. Most of them are working full-time, and totally the technical department is 17 people, including me and Eugene. And this group of people, we are just developing the software. Some of them are doing the requirements part, some of them are doing the programming itself, some of them are building architecture. All of these works are important. How do we relate to business? This is a good question, because in general, software development, you always have some customer. You can, if you're working for a software development company, you can come to a customer and ask, please tell me what are the requirements for our system. But in this project, we don't really have some single customer that can tell us the exact requirements, and this is a difficult part, just to gather the requirements. And this is the reason why we are happy to make partnerships with companies like Selectel or other companies which we don't name, what we have negotiation with. So any company that is trying to make use of SONM inside the application development or other business tasks, they're interesting for us as a source of the requirements for our system. So if we try to gather this and make our system compatible with all of the requirements, with the most part of these requirements, in this way we can deliver a solution that is sustainable for people. So basically, the business branch of our team is the people who are thinking about the token growth, about the business model, but not about the customer business itself. And for the purpose of thinking about the customer business, we talk to external companies like Selectel. They are helping us to develop and to discover the requirements. So this is the approach. And we have some special team members. For example, Eugene is one of them, and me is another, who are talking with external companies, and we are gathering the requirements. We talk with Selectel and we talk about their technology stack. They have OpenStack, and we know how we would integrate it with our technologies. There are some other companies we cannot yet disclose the talks with them, because we would not like to do it earlier. As soon as we would be ready to make some press release, we would go for that. There are some other companies.
That's correct.
This is it.
Okay, we have people that haven't heard about Arch version.
Yes, Arch hasn't done yet, as we mentioned in the video previously. We are planning to deliver in winter, but we plan to deliver a working product.
Okay, the next one. When are you getting listed on Bittrex? We are in negotiation process. We were trying our best, and later, I hope
Yeah, well, there is a repeated question about SONM and NEM, but
Yeah.
I think that first
What happened between SON and NEM?
a talk happened with our two projects. Well, basically, this question was covered in our press release about the Barcelona visit. This question is fully addressed there, so you can basically read it there. So we don't just waste our time on this topic. It's fully covered there.
So you can read our blog.
Yeah, it's a
find
good
the
idea to
information.
read our blog, so because some
Yeah.
questions are already answered.
So you guys see that little dot? No. Do you plan to add the talking in Bittrex? Yes. Does the SEC decision influence the addition of some tokens on Bittrex or Polonix? But I think that decision of adding tokens to get listed is not about SEC, and it's all about business and the overall amount of money that inside the coin. So I think they decide on it. Maybe there is some other reasons, but I don't know. They are not sharing it with us. So the
There's
next
a question about the position of Russian government.
Yeah. It's an interesting question. Rather political.
where is
Will
it?
you
What
read,
you're pointing.
will you
Right.
read the question?
Do you consider the position of the Russian government regarding cryptos as a danger to some in the future? Is it danger?
Yeah, indeed, this is something that brings some risks, but these risks, as we evaluate them, they're not really great because our project is international and our audience, that a group of people that will install and use our software, is international. So if we evaluate the risks that happen here locally about the cryptocurrencies, this only has the weight of the market share of the Russian customers and Russian people who will run the hardware. So this is closely related. If the cryptocurrencies will be completely prohibited in Russia, even in that case, we will have the all other world as a market for our software. I mean the SONM as a platform, as a supercomputer. So indeed we have a risk of losing the Russian audience if the cryptocurrency will be banned here. But we will have all other countries that did not ban the cryptocurrencies yet.
All right, the next question. Are you looking to primarily collaborate with cloud service providers? Question from Eric Carty.
Yeah, sure. For example, we are collaborating already with Selectel, I mean the partnership with them. Selectel is perfectly a cloud provider and infrastructure provider. And there are some use cases that allow both parties to benefit, because some abstract cloud provider can can buy some spare resources on SONM, and you know the cloud company, they have to make big investments. As we're talking with Selectel, they have to make large investments just to earn $1, so they have to invest $20 in the hardware, in the buildings, in the rooms, in the electricity, in the equipment. And the appearance of the system like SONM, it allows them to scale dynamically. They cannot really scale all of their tasks, but they can scale some of their tasks without really investing in the infrastructure. So this is a great use case for them. And we expect for some other cloud hosting companies to have partnership with. So if we do this, we can evaluate their software requirements and can ensure the compatibility of our software with their stacks.
What would then that mean for your partnership with Selectel if Russia becomes hard on crypto?
This is, I have an answer to this question, but I'm sorry, I will not answer this because this is complex and it relates to their business side part, and I'm not responsible for talking about this. So you can basically ask Selectel how will they behave in such a situation.
Yeah, you can
I
send
have some
them a
ideas
question.
how will they do.
Who knows? All right, the next question. Oh, whoa. How do you guys feel about the price dropping as you are having this Q&A? The community is not believing the price dropping. Price could be raising. I don't know. I'm not checking it right now.
Well, we have announced some essential information about the upcoming updated to roadmap and the upcoming voting. Well, I cannot evaluate the price question at the moment. I know that the Bitcoin is rising, so there could be some different trends, but I think when we will deliver the software, the people will really trust in this.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. And that's what we're trying to do. Deliver the software. Okay. It's like I'm tired of YouTube questions. When in Bitfinex, I'm in Redhound want us to know that it's not a lady, he's a guy. Okay, dude, we got you. And when in Bitfinex?
I think the same as with Bitfinex.
Alright, the same, dude.
Sorry, we personally cannot answer this question. The other team is working.
Yeah, we are working on this. Alright, let's get back to slide 2. How do you technically prove that the task is being run and the seller is complete on a minor machine?
Eugen, what do you think about this?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, say something.
Say something. So, actually, there are several types of tasks that can be run on miners, and there are different strategies to be sure that tasks are run. So there are deterministic tasks that are used in Gridcoin, in Golem, and we shall use the same strategy. We should check these tasks on another nodes, check if they ran and they are computed to the same result. If they're not, someone is cheating. That's the basic approach to deterministic tasks. If we talk about non-deterministic tasks, it's a quite more complex solution is to be implemented. And this solution deals with so-called test cases. The developer should develop some test cases so they can control the nodes that run these tasks. If the test case fails, then node is cheating. If test cases don't fail, then then miners go well. That's the basic idea how we'll check. So it's the point of developer. If he develops non-deterministic tasks for SONM, to set some checks that it will ensure that the task will run. That's it.
So basically we will provide two types of checks. First of them is check by replication. When we have a stateless task, we can just run them simultaneously on multiple nodes and just compare the results and clearly see who is cheating. And another approach is to implement, say, some test cases, because the people who are developing software, if they're doing this properly, they have a test cases for their software. And they can feed these test cases inside another Docker container and use it as a testing solution to check that their software is running well and that the computations are doing well. So this is the second approach.
Thank you. The next question sounds like, are you going to develop your own public blockchain out of the Ethereum?
This is a good question, and the reasons behind these questions, we are estimating this, and we have some talks about building our own private Ethereum blockchain because of the gas price and because of the bottlenecks the Ethereum currently experiencing. But yet this solution has not been yet approved because we have some time for Ethereum to scale up, and the recent introduction to the hard fork, the Metropolis, and the upcoming Constantinopolis This makes us believe that perhaps they will deliver the proof of stake in some sustainable time. If they will be ready by the spring, that should be fine, because when we will go on the testnet this winter, it will be okay for any gas price, because it will be test tokens. So we basically need to estimate this by the summer of the next year. And if by that time the bottlenecks are not solved, we can think about either going for our private Ethereum, which I think currently is the best solution. Perhaps if we implement something like proof of authority on the trusted hubs, that should go fine as a backup solution. And there are also some other solutions, namely including the SONM, but this is not the first backup solutions to mention.
Okay, somebody asking, will the stream be uploaded later? So we will upload it on YouTube on our channel, so you can watch it later, or if you missed something, you can watch it. Okay, it seems like it's better to answer YouTube questions, because people are here and they type it in and they want to get an answer, but sometimes we have bad questions. All right, how long will it take so you guys can finish Arch update? That's all right. This person just missed that part.
Yeah, but the people are repeating asking this because this is the most important thing. I think
Arch, yeah, important.
Winter, as we previously mentioned.
But it will be extended. It's not only Arch version. It will be extended with wallet.
Yes, with wallet and the wallet marketplace.
Yeah.
Well, we can just talk about this one last time for these questions. The people who are asking about the Arch, we currently are trying to make real development and try to deliver real software. When we look at the description of the Arc release, we find difficulties of defining the exact use cases that must be delivered by the Arc. There are people that ask, when will Arc be delivered? Can these people please say what exact use cases do they expect from this version to be delivered? And on what Ethereum test network or league network perhaps they want this to happen? So these are the two essential questions about the Arc release. And we try to face these questions. So we try to make a real using use case, which is the marketplace. And marketplace is something bigger that was promised in the Arc release. This one must be understood. But the working marketplace is something valuable. This is something that will work. So we want to focus on the working thing, because everybody here wants the price growth of the token. And to make this happen, we need a working product. The working product is the marketplace.
And they're asking it because of this price question. When it will grow? If we would release the version, it would grow, right?
I think when we will release the working marketplace,
it will go to the moon.
Yes, it will go to the moon, because this will show that this can work all together.
Yeah, and working platform it's much it's much more important. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And how do you return profit to investors? SONM capital gain or income gain?
Yeah, this is another good question. The investors that have purchased the token on the ICO, or perhaps later, their token would be in demand when we will launch the working market, or during the expectations of the market to be launched, because any person that would like to buy computational powers will have to pay in tokens, and the person that would like to sell tokens indeed will also have to have some tokens, because the deal mechanics that we are going to implement will need both parties to make some deposit. From the buyer points of view, they will have to fully deposit the deal amount, and from the seller amount they will have some spare deposit in case things go wrong and they can lose their deposits. So those tokens that were sold on the ICO, they would be demanded by the market participants that are selling or buying resources. And if you would like to estimate how much the demand will be, you have to estimate the market value itself. So if there are about $40 million worth of tokens sold on the ICO, that will feed something like 20 to 30 million market share. So if the market would be 20 to 30 millions, that would look like all the tokens will be used there. But some people will hold their tokens, some people will do something else with them, some people will keep on the exchange, so not all of the tokens will be available for the deals. So these mechanics will make the token be in demand, and this will drive the price of the token. So as soon as we have the working marketplace, even on the test Ethereum network, the people will see that they have to buy some tokens somewhere. This is it.
Why would you extend Arch instead of releasing it by updates from time to time, so a more continuous, linear rollout of the product would happen? So would you like to have just more amount of news?
Yeah, I can explain.
We can divide it on small pieces and make it like every day. Look what we've done today.
I can say about testing. For example, in summer we released the previous version, and it took us a lot of time. It took us some weeks just to stabilize the release and to fix all the bugs which were found there. And currently, if we try to release some version which is not the working market itself, we will have to spend some time just stabilizing the release version to fixing the bugs prior to the release. And this will take our time, and during that time we will not be making the marketplace itself. So I think I see our main goal to deliver the working product as soon as possible. This is really the most important thing. If we release more often without yet delivering the working product, we will spend more time on testing and on the release building. This is work that also takes some time from the same people who are making the product. So this is the main reason behind this. We have really less time on this current global situation. We have to deliver with best speed as we can. So we want to go for the working product. This is the reason for your question.
And it's a great answer. What is your own evaluation of SONM company? My own evaluation, it's a great company, it's a great idea, and it's a great project. And if we make it, it could change the world. It could. So we are trying, and it's a great company. The next, better to have working product than a buggy one. All right, yeah, it's true. Do you have any older senior staff who have experience in business development and experience? We have some advisors, guys. We have some advisors. They are trying to help us to go in this process. What are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm just looking for
you're looking. It's a live chat, and
okay.
It's a big pleasure to have a direct conversation with you guys.
Yeah, basically, if someone's questions was not yet answered, please feel free just to repeat it.
If you done it in Slido, you can repeat it here, and we will read it.
So this is a question: who is in the office currently?
Who is in the office?
You see on the background there are there are 3 developers. If you look from the left to the right, from the left is Pavel. In the middle one, in the white t-shirt, is Alexander, and to the right is Sergey.
Yeah, it's Sergey, yeah.
Those 3 are developers.
Yeah. To which industry will you market your product first?
The funds raised during the ICO. Yes, the funds raised during ICO are well enough for the development of this project as we currently estimate it. To implement what was expected in the white paper, it would take something about 2 years, but this is a rough estimation because currently we have a general vision and we have a more detailed vision for the first layer of the system, the infrastructure, and we see this first level to be introduced by the summer of the next year. And this would be already something that has market value. Even the infrastructure itself would be a working product, but when we will deliver the platform later, this would just add the value to the system. But even the infrastructure will work.
Okay, Gaetan Krillard. Third repeat. What is the nature of the partnership with Selectel? What kind of agreement, contract do you guys have with them? Any kind of dependency? Why Selectel and not another company with stronger leverage? Why?
Well,
You
again, the topic with Selectel was covered in the press release made on some news web page for business, and main topics are covered there, and main interest is there. We have some agreement with them, which has the agreement of, how to say, agreement about their plans. Why Selectel? This is the company that is trying to make their best at using the modern technologies, and they're trying to make the edge on this. So they are really estimating the cryptocurrency projects, and SONM is not the single of them. They're also estimating some other solutions. I cannot talk about this, but they do this, and they're just the modern company, and they're in some degree they're on the first line of the modern companies from the cloud providers to be estimating this new project like SONM is. And there are some other companies coming by their steps.
Thank you, Igor. I don't 100% get the marketplace idea. Will you have to pick the best system that you want for a certain process, or will SONM do this all automated?
Eugen, will you tell us about the marketplace?
I don't know how to spell this name. Didn't.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We'll try to answer this question.
Okay. Marketplace is like exchange. So there are buyers who want to buy resources, and there are sellers of resources that want some price for their resources. So basically they provide their orders, sell order or ask order, and buy order to the market.
Look. His continues. Also, let's say I render a video. Will one system do this, or will the workload be distributed over several systems in the fog?
So it's not just about
so
marketplace.
He's getting
it's
the
about
idea
technology.
of marketplace, right?
So,
you're getting the idea.
So actually, you have marketplace where you choose the resources that fit your price, and there is another step that you should accomplish. You should use these resources you've ordered on the marketplace to run a certain task. For example, machine learning, or what was the question, or rendering. So basic idea is to prepare your Docker image that will compute.
No need to answer.
Okay.
The answer is his right name. He's joking. It's funny. I'm sorry. Continue, please.
Okay. We don't know that.
No. Continue, please.
Okay. So, sorry, please. So the basic idea is that you pack your logic, your computing logic into Docker images. You buy resources through SONM marketplace, and you use and you run these tasks with these Docker images on miners, on workers. And this is the idea.
Thank you, Eugen. And the next question: what is competitive advantage from other cloud services like Amazon, Google, Microsoft? Igor, can you handle this, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
So, who are them? The Microsoft, the Google,
Yeah.
and the Amazon, the big three companies who
Yeah.
are doing cloud business. Well, the business solution is fine, and the cloud services are fine, and we like them. And but there is one question. No, not one question. There are a couple of questions. First of them is that they have data centers, they have engineers in place, they have backup systems, they have a lot of things that enterprise companies are building into their product, and this influences the price. This is the first point. The second point is there are many companies all over the world, and people want to earn some money for renting their hardware. And if we compare these prices for these resources, there would be a huge difference between a computer inside the data center and the computer at home. This is the first difference between what we are offering and what Google or Microsoft or Amazon has. They have great services, but they have relatively high price. And if we look at the example, for example, there is a project named Storage. It's a system that allows people to rent their hard drives for cloud hosting of some files. It's like an object storage. And their price lineup is twice lower than the Amazon has to offer or what Google has to offer. They have, I just don't remember the numbers at my fingers, but they have nearly twice the difference in price. And this is a huge benefit, basically, because some applications, some classic applications, they really need very redundant servers to be in place because they cannot recover from a failure of a single server. But some modern applications, they are built in such a way that they can withstand the failure of one or another node. And this is the difference that they can run on a more cheaper hardware, something that we can offer with SONM. This is one point. Another point is the cryptocurrency as a payment. I think there would some big things need to happen for those three companies to start accepting cryptocurrencies without all those business procedures. Another point is the distribution of the computers, because all of those companies, the Microsoft, the Amazon, they have some data centers and they are located in some particular countries. And while the SONM computers will be distributed all over the world, and for some cases this is important. So we basically have some advantages, some differences from them, and some applications and some use cases from the big global market of the cloud hosting or just cloud infrastructure. Some applications can benefit from SONM, and if we would need to estimate the numbers, but the whole market is very big, and we are aiming for the part of this market, for the applications that can benefit the SONM technology. This is it. For those applications, SONM would have a benefit.
Would SONM be more compatible to the container services or compute services from the big three? Amazon, Microsoft, Google.
Yes, it would be comparable. If we talk about comparing, for example...
comparable, yeah.
Yes, it is comparable from the customer's point of view, because if you are using, for example, Google App Engine, or if you are using Google virtual machines or the infrastructure that allows the Docker containers to be launched on SONM, you will get something comparable. But this will greatly differ on the internal side of the system.
Okay, we have about 60 more questions in Slido, guys.
Well, let's go on.
Yeah, they are not ending.
Do we have any time limits? Because I personally don't have such.
I don't know. Our technician guy is... hey, how you do? Как у тебя там дела?
How our battery is going on?
Yeah, the batteries is still good. All right. Okay.
This is a good question about mining
It will
tools.
be possible to mine, let's say, Ethereum with SONM.
Yes, the answer is yes. It would be, how this will look like. This is a good use case, but We are not currently defining this as our main goal. The main goal of the system is to let people rent the computational power or buy computational power for running machine learning or for running rendering or other useful applications. But as consequences of the system design, it's possible to launch even the Ethereum miner on the rented hardware, and the only matter is a matter of the price. Because there was a question about what is the market, and look how this will work. Eugen has already mentioned. We will allow all people who has hardware to sell their resources on this market. And for example, you have a GPU. You can rent it on the market, and people will compete to get this hardware. And let's imagine the one person is a person who would like to get your hardware for mining Ethereum, and he can go and offer you a price. For example, he plans to earn $5 per day, for example, by mining hardware, and he will earn 4 and 9 for you, just keeping his margin. But if this is the only offer, this could be the best offer. But when the machine learning person will come in, someone like machine learning developer, they pay nearly the twice price, and he will earn like $7 or $8, and he will overbuy the hardware, and you as a hardware owner will have the best price. But technically, yes, it's possible. It will be possible to mine Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, and basically most of the mining software that can use GPUs under Linux, because we are providing the support for GPUs for Docker container. It would be also possible to mine the cryptocurrencies that are based on the hard drive, or perhaps when some crypto projects will come in place, and there are many of them every day that build some particular system. Like perhaps you heard about the projects that try to make the global the content delivery system, or some global decentralized hosting, or any of the such projects. And if any of these projects can have his miner running on Linux, so it can be based on the SONM. This is one of our use cases.
It's kind of creepy, you know, miners mining by miners.
No, because we don't have a miner really. We have a worker application that can be used to deploy Docker-based tasks on some hardware and earn money for that. We have a deeper base of the infrastructure in our system. We can host such projects. We can basically host cryptocurrency projects. But this is not the goal of our project. It's just a how to say?
Special use case.
Yeah, special use case.
That was an interesting question about ERP system.
Yeah, we have a question, but it's in Russian. Is it possible to give some work with ERP systems and to be sure that data will not leak? It's about business secrets and security. And
how do you think?
Is it?
Okay. It's a very difficult question, because privacy is one of problems for such distributed system that use some kind of miners that are held in just garage or in your room. So the basic approach for this is to use secured file systems and secured algorithms that will not disclose the private data to those who host this data and who host computing. There are some crypto algorithms that would allow sorting and allow summing and some basic arithmetic operation on ciphered values. And our approach is to allow this secured data be stored, filtered, and processed in a secure way, so that only so you can use this data only on private computers. For example, you have a terminal for your ERP system in your company, and you have some servers in your company, and these servers will handle all the work just to encrypt and decrypt the data and to present this data to you. But all the data will be hosted in SON network, and data will be filtered and maybe merged, and some simple process that will be secure will be implemented in SON. So that's it.
Thank you. Nailed that.
Yeah.
All right. Can you talk about the hubs a little bit? I still get a notion that it's some sort of mainframe that distributes workload. What is?
Well, I think it's it does distribute workload. So the main idea that hub is a sort of cluster manager for miners. Miners are very different. They work in different environment, and it's very difficult to miner to give some guarantee to SON community that it will it will run this task as for its own. So some nodes of SON network will be hubs that are responsible for task scheduling and task monitoring and task failover, so that even miners fail, the task will not fail. So miners is the crucial part of SON networks, and it forms this network, and they guarantee the scheduling and failovering of tasks.
Thank you.
I think. I hope it's became clear.
Okay, we have a question from Slido. Do you plan any other small-scale projects to have use case for the tokens before the main product release?
Some small-scale projects to have use cases
for the tokens.
I don't think so, because the main idea of the tokens is that they would be used as a currency for buying and selling the resources, and until we have this operational on the live net with real tokens, that would not be the real case. Don't see any cases here.
Yeah, tokens are utility tokens for our marketplace.
What is the biggest obstacle that stands between SON and its mission? What's the biggest obstacle?
We have already addressed this question.
Nah, it's impossible.
Okay.
Nah. What is the biggest?
The biggest obstacle is uncertainty. How to say this correctly? Uncertainty. When something is uncertain, because the system is new and we cannot just go and just replicate the ideas that are already developed for some other systems, because as people already mentioned in their questions, there already did some competitors as the supercomputers, but they are going for a different computational models, and it is hard for us even to replicate someone's approach, because we have to develop some things and we have to make decisions, and we'll have to test this when we run on test network.
People still want to know when is the biggest news on this week, within this week. It's like this week you will get updated roadmap.
There would be two major updates this week. One of them is about the updated roadmap, and another of them would be perhaps about the voting.
Yeah. Gonna buy some more SONM in the next.
But I'm not sure
weeks.
that the news about voting would be on this week. I did not promise this.
Why you're using Yota phone?
Because I personally like Yota phone. It's my favorite phone. I can just show you. Yes, I use it. It's a good phone. It has some working display with time, so I can watch the time without turning my phone on.
Are you guys getting paid in some tokens?
Partly.
Yeah, and food.
Some food, yes. And also some alcohol.
Vodka.
And biscuits.
Biscuits, that's special offer that we had to make. Biscuits.
Oh, here is Crypto Wizard asking us questions. Hi, Crypto Wizard. If that is you, we don't plan to burn tokens because to burn tokens we have to define some use case why to do this, and we don't currently see such a case in which we would need to burn our tokens.
All right. So we still have 60 questions.
Just go on.
Yeah, just go on. All right.
So there are many repeats at this moment.
If I make, all right. Kakra Yudha asking is about asking us to make videos about possible use cases of SONM in the future, because most of people doesn't know what does SONM do. It will be good.
Yeah, this is basically a good and fair question, because as I see from the questions and as I see from the talks in the public channels, really, indeed, many people don't understand the possible use cases, and
because there is too much.
Not too much. This is not about much or less. This is about the software requirements that are currently being described, and we have indeed already described some use cases. And when we were in Barcelona, we were presenting some future use cases. We have split them into use cases of the platform as a service and to infrastructure as a service. And we currently have clearly defined use cases for the infrastructure. I think we will have to post something about them. This is a good concern, good question. We will post something about this topic.
Okay, next time CryptoGens wants to get insights on our team and how you guys work. Like you use Jira?
Yeah, we use Jira and we use Confluence. We use both of these projects from Atlassian. That's true.
Alright. Have one of big cloud provider offer you some partnership?
If we talk about the partnership to host our applications, no, none of them yet provided, and not even Selectal. They're just aiming to use our software.
Okay. Why will people choose to join some network if there will be more profitable to mine some
shitcoins?
Shitcoins.
Yeah, this is a good question.
Yeah, thank you for the good question.
Yeah,
the golden product.
This is a good question. Why do I say this is a good question? Because it will allow me again to describe the basic economics behind our marketplace. So currently there are a lot of people who are mining coins, and what do they have? They have computers with GPUs, and they have to manually, or no, not manually, they have to choose what to mine. There are special dedicated web pages on choosing the coin. They can choose NiceHash, or they can choose Ethereum or any other coins, and they have to make a choice. They have to install the software and to mine some particular coins. What makes a difference in SONM? If you are a miner, you can install Ethereum miner and go for mining Ethereum. If you would like to then to mine Zcash or Monero or Classic, you have to install another software, or perhaps you have all of them and you have to relaunch, and you have to monitor the price growth. And I have a lot of friends, and many of them are mining software, and there are some opinion that at this moment the mining has quite a low profitability, and if you have to be a successful miner, you have to mine coin which you think will grow in price. So you have to mine for the price growth. But what will change if you install the SONM client? If you install the SONM client, you do not have to worry about switching the cryptocurrency being mined anymore. You just rent your hardware for the best price proposed. And on the market, we expect for some cloud mining businessman to appear. That could be any person who can write a software board for automated trading. So when the market would be empty, people can come and offer any prices for the hardware if there are no other competitors. For example, if you can earn $5 for mining Ethereum, people can come and offer you $4, and that would be the best price at the moment, not yet interesting price. But then some people will come and offer bigger prices and lower their margin. And for some cryptocurrencies and for some mining software like the Claymore or Ethereum miner, those price numbers can be quite big, and they could be close to the profit earned by the mining itself. So the difference is that you rent your hardware, and other people can either mine cryptocurrencies or launch machine learning tasks, anything they would like, and you will give your hardware to the person that will offer the biggest price. And this is the difference. You do not have to worry about what to mine. You just rent your hardware, and you will have a chance to get a higher price offer for machine learning than for other tasks, because they're indeed more costly. They offer bigger prices. So this is the idea. You don't have to decide what to mine. You just rent your hardware, and let other people on the network try to do cloud mining and pay you the best price. Be sure that people who will try to do this, they will be quite effective in deciding what to mine and how to compete with each other. This is the point.
Okay, if I am a miner, will the reward be equal to what I could the SONM platform for? Can you get it?
Will the reward be equal to
Any
what
of this?
I could? Did you give a second?
Yeah.
Equal to what I could the SONM platform. Well, I don't think I really understand this particular question, but the rewards equal the rewards price and the SONM platform. You will have the best price on the market. Machine learning is nearly twice more, gives nearly twice more price than the best mining can offer. So you will basically get the best price, and this is expected to be comparable or even higher that traditional mining can give you.
Okay. The next one.
This is about Golem. I don't think Golem is a competitor. I don't think our projects are competitors, because they have indeed a different computational model, as I already mentioned, and they're using the grid framework, and this is different. They initially wanted to use only grid framework system, but later, as we expected, as we explore the website, they are trying to implement the Docker-based tasks, which I think has some relations with the SONM launching our Docker-based tasks. But they have really a different world of computations. People who has applications and want their applications to be executed on the network, they have to either rewrite the application to make use of the grid platform, or to launch it as it is on the SONM network. Indeed, they will have to adopt their software to be stateless, to be able to orchestrate, or to be able to launch different workers. But for SONM, this is a more generalized case. So I don't think we are competitors. I think Google is a competitor, but I think we are trying to be a competitor of the Google Cloud Platform.
It's just one department of Google is competitor.
Yeah, of course.
One small part of
yes,
Google.
Yes. From the customer's point of view, from a person that has an application, we have more similarities with Google App Platform. This is a more close match, but of course there are major products. They have all good. We have just some benefits. So this is it. I don't think Golem is the same as we are doing here.
Okay, question to the team. Have you guys looked at Elastic iExec render?
Yes, we know all of these projects, and we are keeping an eye on them. And they are different again, as we already
Keeping an eye.
Yeah, basically, if you will watch this record, you can get our thoughts about all of them, about the Elastic, about the iExec, and there are also the RNDR project, which is also some other thing.
Finished?
Yeah, finished. We have already discussed this. I can repeat this. All of these projects mentioned, the Elastic, the iExec, the Golem,
Yeah.
the renderer, all of those projects, they are trying to get you hardware for some tasks. Namely the Golem, the Elastic and the iExec, they are trying to build supercomputers, but they all have different technologies, as I mentioned. iExec has a smart contracts extension. Elastic has a different programming language, its own programming language, and the Golem has a grid system. All of these approaches make you need for your applications to be redesigned and rewritten. And the renderer is just it's a good use case, but it's a particular use case. It will be only rendering. So if you will install the application, your computer would be only doing rendering, not other tasks. You cannot rent your hard drive or CPU for that. So this is again a different use case. We have a more generalized approach. Basically, we will see if we can host renderer on our software. If they can run on Linux, perhaps that could be feasible for us.
Okay, the community members sending me messages that there is a lot of questions from China community, and they are redirecting it to the here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you for the questions. Other big giants like Google, Okay, that's repeating all the time.
No. This is a different question. This is about fog computing. Yes, they are interested in it, and we attended in the Barcelona. There was an IoT conference, and these big companies, they are building IoT solutions. This is the point of their interest. So basically, they are building some infrastructure and solutions for the distributed set of devices. But this is something different from what we are doing here.
All right. Is everything on target for the August 2018 full working version release?
Yes, we aim for even, basically, the promised version 1.0 is the August of the next year, and we plan to launch the summer of the next year. So basically, perhaps we can do it even faster.
All right, thank you. Are you looking for primarily collaborate with cloud? All right, with cloud services. We already done this question. Let's go back to YouTube. What is buyback program in 2018 quarter
I think this is a question about SONM buying back its tokens. I don't think I don't have any information that we are planning to do some buybacks. I don't think so. Perhaps I just don't have the information, but I don't think.
Somebody asked, do we need employees from China? Do we need programmers from China or somebody?
Of course, we have some open positions, and some of them are developers, but this is a matter of the efficiency of our work.
But we definitely would like to have some Chinese members in the team.
There is no problems about any country you can imagine. Just if we talk in English, this is fine.
Yeah, English is good. We understand it. What are your thoughts about the price going down?
Well, I think the most essential thing that was said during this Q&A session is that we are trying to release the Arch release in the winter and not in September, which has already passed. But as I said, we have some reasons behind this, and we have argumented our view on this. We want to release a working product, and our description was not about the working product, it was about some technical details. And we have very few time. Just things are developing really fast around us, and we have to deliver working product, and we want to focus on this. And I think This was the main point in our speech that could influence the price, because perhaps people were expecting some other things, but we have reasoned why we are doing this way.
It was a hard decision for us.
Okay, we still have more questions here in Slido. Okay, is there any way to buy a SONM hoodie now? No way. Maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody who got it on a conference you can just sell
We are
it.
just not selling the
Yeah, we're
the
not
clothes.
selling it. What did people think of Q&A? Oh, okay, we missed it. All right. Can you tell more about DAO inside SONM? Props and cons.
The DAO is a unit, is a component of the system design that will be doing some functions. One of them is a voting function, another of them is governance, and another of them is something like court behavior. But these functions are already currently under design, and currently we are working on the voting mechanics. So as I mentioned, we will have a voting soon, and the topic and the details will be disclosed later. We are holding a vote. You must vote with your tokens.
All right. The next, may I ask about the man? Okay.
No.
It's about you,
No,
everybody.
Right?
No, it's about you.
To the
Somebody.
left?
Yeah, no,
To the
right. Right.
Right. He's
That's
right.
fine. All right.
Look at your
I'm
video.
confused.
Look at this.
All right.
Igor is genius.
How do you plan to implement some algorithms, and how do magnets work?
What's
Which magnets?
Yeah, which magnets?
Perhaps person is thinking about the torrent magnet links.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it sounds like this.
Well, I don't think we have magnets.
Magnet links. At the moment, we don't have any magnet links.
At this particular moment.
But okay, what about how do you plan to implement SONM algorithm? No.
This is a
Alright.
too general question.
All right. Sorry, we couldn't.
We couldn't answer the general question on how will SONM work, because it will take the rest
Okay.
of the evening.
Maybe 2
Uh,
minutes.
Okay.
Look, we have another question about arc behind the release, and we have already mentioned it, so you basically can watch the video again, and there would be a
Alright,
couple of
yeah.
answers to this question, and one of them an extended version.
What are your main advantages compared to Elastic project?
Okay.
What do you think?
We already mentioned our main advantage is that we are doing general computing, while Elastic has some limitations. So you can watch this video again and there is answer for this question. We've talked 3 times, as far as I remember, about Elastic, Golem, etc.
All right, the next one. Thank you, by the way. Do you have plans to lease our tokens for some fees?
Lease tokens for some fees.
Yeah, lease for fees.
Proof of stake file. Lease proof of stake. Well, we have some discussions and we have some ideas, but I cannot disclose anything on this topic yet. Sorry.
Sorry. Next one. Okay, is the user some support or some an official representative of SONM? It's about community.
I think it's about community. Yeah, you can ask this question inside the community and
Yeah.
they will answer you. So
About
They
official
will-
representative and
they will handle it.
yeah, they will. Do you give SNM rewards to open source developers who contribute to the some GitHub?
Currently, all the developers that are contributing to some project, they are well paid, and Yes, we give reward, and not only in token. All people that are currently contributing, they get paid.
True?
Yeah.
So you can just...
Basically, everybody that is contributing currently to our GitHub, they're our employees. So we pay them.
Good answer. So not anonymous.
We don't yet have some anonymous people working there, like pushing pull requests. All developers are well known and they are part of our team.
All right.
You can just
what is the benefit of holding SONM token?
Yes.
What is the benefit? Why I should hold it? Because it gonna grow. Right?
The first question is that the SONM token will be used for buying and selling, and the greater the market of computation growth, the greater would be the token value. Because if we have 10 million market, or we have 100 million market, that would make a 10 times difference for the token price. This is one approach. Another of them is fees that will be collected by the SONM from each transactions, and they would be distributed for the token holders. But this is the topic that everybody is asking, and we will deliver additional information regarding this.
Okay, we're almost 2 hours online.
Yeah, I think.
And let's choose some. Okay, let's choose some last questions from the chat. Guys, we're about to finish.
Yeah, I can just go directly to the SONM public chat and just get some questions directly from them.
Oh, Tractor Man, guys, don't be afraid to have a rest. You have answered a lot of questions. Thank you guys for watching us. And we still have 91 viewer.
Okay, if anyone wants to answer some final questions, you can just write to the SONM public chat in English.
Yeah, you can write it, and I will check the Twitter while we waiting. Last question in SONM Telegram. I will check the Twitter. Okay, existing cooperations happening. We have answered this.
The question is about making a node. I think we can think about this, to making a textual version of this.
Text version of this conversation.
The person says he's too lazy to watch a video, and I can understand him because I don't like watching videos sometimes.
Come on, please. Just, I don't know.
Come on. Okay, we will think about it.
Just push the button and let it happen. That's it. You don't have to do anything.
Now, perhaps the person is thinking faster than we are talking, but in this case,
maybe.
if your brain works faster than we are answering the questions and you feel this is too slow, you can set a higher speed of watching.
Yeah.
For example, you can 1/5 speed, and that would be quite fast.
You can increase it and just it will fly away.
Give it a shot.
All right. So, guys behind look like they play World of Tanks. they don't. All right. Do we have the last question?
It's from Charlie Brown. He asks.
All right. We got it.
Like a comment. Okay, Charlie. About the browser. No, I don't think it would be a common browser like Chrome or Opera. We don't have the intention of building another web browser because there are already major browsers existing on the marketplace and we are not going to compete with them. We have different goals. When we are talking about the browser and particularly the description of the version 03 ARC about browser, this is a browser for applications and this is a browser for market. So this would be the application that will allow you to look for the market offers for buying or selling resources. Or this would be the application that will allow you to look for applications that can be developed, deployed on the fog. So that kind of browser, it's a browser for applications, or browser something like you can type your search. Like, yeah, we will hold our own application store for fog applications. Why? No, we don't have Brave browser, we don't have Chrome or Firefox, we don't have our own browser, because we just have a solution you can use to search for application or search for market offerings. This kind of browser.
All right.
Yeah, sorry for some Russian accent. We are doing our best to speak normal English, but we have some flaws, of course.
All right. So we want to thank you all for watching this video and for your questions and for support. Thank you very much. I hope it was an interesting conversation, and we will do it again later. We will announce it in our channels. This week, wait for roadmap updates in our blog. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.